Here's the veteran Dustin Hopkins ready for the start. And we are underway now from Huntington Bank Field. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
And that to the 30. It'll be second down. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Johnson. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a 1st down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt. 3-yard return, and they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for the running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
A give up the middle to Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
3rd and 9 here. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And there, even if you've got to take something off that throw so that he slows down to catch it, that's far more preferable than what happened there. A big miss on what should have been a touchdown.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
2nd and 4. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The lessons will continue, but this rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Sanders. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Fighting through. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. To throw is Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation, already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Throwing now is Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
On the run, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Third and 8. Rodgers going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So this drive spans 7 plays. And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Cole Holcomb, he got a hand on that throw and knocked it down.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Rodgers. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Short yardage situation. You have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does, to the tune of a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he's going to have a Browns first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll look to throw now on first down. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Operating from the gun. Sanders gets this over the middle to Tillman. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Back to throw. Sanders. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on third down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Jordan Hicks leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. Austin brings in the quick throw. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught. He's across midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. Here's Warren. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Now Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play. Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the 1st half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. Being chased out, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now 21-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 2nd and 11 now. Looking to throw. Sanders. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Here's Austin. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
That'll give them 8 that time. Yeah, that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got Njoku over the middle. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Hopkins with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. His throw incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous. And if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Off the play fake. Sanders able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Sanders. Under pressure, and they got to him again. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Now Austin. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. To throw is Rodgers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. Johnson on the counter. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On play action, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
On play action, now Rodgers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete to Austin here over the middle. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The Browns drive about to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Sanders. Toward the sideline. Intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Sanders. And his throw is incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Sanders. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Cole Holcomb, he got a hand on that throw and knocked it down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight. He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen, but this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Sanders now throwing to start the drive. And his pass incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, but it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Sanders. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. That is incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Now run straight ahead with Warren. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Sanders throwing to start the drive. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Sanders out quickly to Judy. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 4. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he's taken down inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On the give, it's Warren. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And the return man will shuffle through the white stuff, secure the fair catch with both hands. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deontay Johnson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
In motion right, one of the tight ends. Up the middle, Johnson. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. They go to Johnson again. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Austin. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Johnson is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now Sanders throwing to start the drive. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Complete. It's Johnson. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Looking to throw. Sanders. Now he'll escape to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. And that is taken in by Njoku. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Off play action. Sanders. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long.